We are live. Let me know if you can see me, you can hear me. And guys, we are on day 3. Let me know in the chat. I ask this every single time and I will continue to ask this. Is this your very first session of the Women Create 2021 Summit? Is this your second? Have you been at every single one? Type into the chat. Let me know. And also let me know you can see. Okay, you can see us. You can hear. We've got Denver, Denmark, Colorado. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm really, really excited for today. I hope everyone has their notebooks ready. Today is a jam-packed day full of really great content. And we are joined with none other than Kendrick Shope today. Now, before we dive in and I get to introduce you to this lovely woman, just a friendly reminder of this is your first session. We have a really special offer that is going on during the summit. It is a 2021 Creator Success Bundle. You are getting premium courses from our speakers, unlimited access to the replays, and live group coaching on Pro. So I will talk about that at the very end, but just a friendly reminder. And without further ado, Kendrick, I'm so excited to have you here. Now, I'm going to give you a very brief intro of Kendrick. It is not going to do her justice, but if you're meeting her for the first time, she is an international sales authority. She's the creator of Authentic Selling Process and the founder of Authentic Selling University. Now, that is the leading sales training for modern businesses, producing millions of dollars in revenue for her students. And if she looks a little bit familiar, you may have seen her on the Steve Harvey Show, NBC, Forbes, Inc., Reader's Digest, HLN, and so many others. Kendrick, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Jess, thank you so much. And thank you all for being here. It is a huge honor to be back at this conference. I can't tell you how excited we are.
Well, I know this topic specifically around selling and emails is something that a lot of people have been asking about, have been wanting to know more about. And what I appreciate with the way that you teach these things is that you address, I think, one of the biggest pain points that a lot of people have, which is I understand that I need to sell. One, I don't enjoy it. And two, I feel like I don't want to be manipulative. I don't want to feel like I'm like a sleazy salesman. So I'm going to let you take it away, but I would love to know what we can look forward to in today's session.
Absolutely. You're right. We're going to learn the $1 million email strategy for course launches. This can also apply if you don't launch a course, but one of the reasons that I love this topic is it blends so well with what Teachable offers, right? Teachable is an incredible platform. They're not asking me to say this, but I know it. I've been in the industry for 10 years. And so I think what you're going to learn today blends so perfectly with this. And where did we get the $1 million? Because literally that's what we've seen it create. We, meaning the team, seen it create over and over and over again for our customers and for ourselves. So I'm so excited to talk about it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to let you take it away. I will be looking in the chat if there's any questions. Just know at the very end of the session, we will save some time to answer all the audience questions. So let me just add your screen in here. Great.
All right. Thank y'all for being here. First things first, I have had the pleasure of speaking a lot of places in 10 years. I'm a dinosaur in this industry. And usually the first thing people want to know is, where is this woman from? So I am from good old East Tennessee, Sweetwater, Tennessee to be exact. I now live in Knoxville, born and raised. My husband was born and raised there. So that's the accent. And if you think I sound country, you should come to Sweetwater, because when I go home, people are like, you don't sound like us anymore. So that's where I'm from. I have one quick confession before we start. I have had the privilege of watching this Teachable conference and Women Create conference grow from, I think, the ground up. I believe this is the 3rd year that I've gotten to participate in some way, and I'm nervous. I don't know why. I speak all the time, but it's all new faces, and I'm a little bit nervous. So I like transparency. I'm a little bit nervous, but that is just because I'm so flipping excited to be here. All right. So without further ado, let's jump in. One of the first thing you will learn about authentic selling, and you're going to learn a little bit about what that is and how you can use that in your business. The first thing you'll learn about authentic selling is it's pretty different from other sales processes out there. So I will tell you why you can trust me, but authentic selling always starts with a thank you. There are tools, literally step by step tools, and 99.9% of them start with a genuine thank you, because you are giving me your time today, or your customers are giving you their time. So I just want to say thanks. Thanks for being here. We have a saying in ASU called authentic selling style, and that means we over deliver like nobody's business. And so I'm going to authentic selling style this for you today. All right. So Jess did a really good job of this, but usually I'm pretty blunt and I say, all right, before we jump in, why should you pay attention to me? That's my daughter about 6 years ago and our puppy, both now grown. My daughter's not grown, but anyway, who can you trust? Jess did a good job of this, but you don't know me, or most of you don't. So I'm Kendrick Shope. I'm a mom, obviously. Best thing, hardest thing in the world. I was a top performing pharmaceutical sales rep for over a decade. I worked for 3 Fortune 500 companies, and at one time, I was the #1 sales rep in the entire world for my product. Why do you care? Not because I care to brag, but because I know selling. You can trust me about selling. I'm also a wife. I married my high school sweetheart. I created a 7-figure business straight from my laptop, and I graduated top of my class from 2 corporate sales schools. Just mentioned, I've also had the privilege of being on shows like Steve Harvey, Forbes. All that to say, 10 years, I was a top performing sales rep. The last 10 years, I've been teaching selling in the online world. So you got 20 plus years of sales experience here. I cannot cook. I am not the best driver, but I can teach you to sell. And why does that matter? Because selling makes you money. Legit, real money. Now, there are a lot of things that you need to run a successful business that makes money. And of course, we're all here because we have a desire to make a big impact, right? You're going to hear me talk a lot about money. And for some people, it pushes people away. It's offensive. It's not meant to be offensive. But the black and white definition of selling is the exchange of money for a product or service. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Today, you can expect a proven way to double your course sales. And that's going to come through a multi-million-dollar or $1 million email strategies. We're going to take selling from something that may feel icky, sleazy, slimy, gross to feeling like you are helping, to feeling loving, exciting, and fun. You're going to understand the #1 sales mistake that sales emails make and how to correct it. And you are going to get a roadmap to your course sell that eliminates any guesswork at all. And finally, you're going to get clarity about a launch plan, including number of emails, the time you should send the emails, buyer psychology, all the things. So what is selling? Selling, many of you, and type in the chat and tell Jess and tell me, what do you think of when you hear the word selling? If you all are any indication of the people that I've had the privilege of speaking to or working with for the past 10 years, we're going to hear 1 or 2 people say, I love it. We're going to hear 98% of people say, I don't want to do it. It feels icky, sleazy, slimy, gross, pushy. I feel like a bully. I'm terrible at it. Why do I even need selling, Kendrick? I know marketing. I know all the things. The answer is, selling is the exchange of money for a product or service. Just let's think about that for a minute. Selling is the exchange of money. Sorry, I hit too fast. Selling is the exchange of money for a product or service. What does that mean? You can be the best marketer in the world. You can have the best platform in the world. You can have the best content in the world. But without a sales plan, you do not make as much money as you could. And I love money. Money is an indicator of a couple of things. #1, if people are paying me, that means I am getting to do this work that I know changes people's lives. So I'm making an impact. Can you make an impact without making money? Of course you can. But making money and helping others are also not mutually exclusive. So you drill all this down. When you have a sales plan that works, that you feel good about, you make more money and in turn help more people. It's just that true. So why do so many people detest selling? I'm not going to give you the history of selling because you don't need it. But I call this I teach in a lot of pop culture tools. So I had an expert tell me one time, this makes you sound stupid. But here's the thing. This is how I communicate. I communicate to my daughter through song. And I know after teaching this material for 10 years that you remember it more when it's not some boring black and white presentation. So you're going to get your first pop culture tool. It's going to be in song. I'm not going to burst out into song, but how many of you all, tell Jess in the chat, remember the song Old Town Road, Billy Ray Cyrus and Little Nas? Remember that, Jess?
Oh, don't get me started on this song. Yes, I love it. You guys can come at me at the chat. Everyone says, yes.
Take
Oh my,
my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride, right? So,
so
so
good.
the answer to that question, why do so many people detest selling, is called the Old Town Road tool. To make a very long story short, the reason you hate selling, maybe you've been burned, maybe you've had a bad experience, but it's also been passed down from generation to generation to generation, because years ago, people used a traveling medicine man used to ride his horse on the Old Town Road into communities, and he would say, I've got this elixir. She would say, or they would say, I've got this elixir, and it's going to make you feel 10 feet tall and bulletproof, hotter than you've ever felt, more courage, more confidence than you've ever had. And people would buy that because people wanted those things, and it did do those things. The product delivered because it was what? Tell us in the chat. Alcohol. So people were flying high on the Old Town Road, but the next day they felt like utter death because they were hungover. And that is literally why so many of us are leery of selling. Now, yes, we probably, if you've been alive for longer than 10 years, you have experienced a rotten sales experience, a sales experience that may feel icky, sleazy, slimy, gross. But that just contributes to what has already been passed down to you. So we don't want any. Oh, I love the song Old Town Road. We don't want any Old Town Road selling here. We don't want the old way to selling. You know, we're not here to scam people. But here's the truth. If selling is the exchange of money for a product or service, which means you need a sales plan to make more money, but you detest it, what do? Well, here's the thing. I want you to put every assumption about selling that you have aside today, even the Old Town Road assumption, because you've been taught to do it wrong. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that from this point forward, if selling ever, and I try to avoid absolutes, but if selling ever feels icky, sleazy, slimy, gross, pushy, bully, stop. And this is called the Supremes tool. Stop. In the name of authentic selling, if it starts to get icky, think it over. That's what I want you to do. You good, Jess? I hear you laughing.
Yeah, and I think there'll be a lot of happy people in the chat because they're like, wait, no, she should sing for us. Guys, you got it. You got it.
You got it. But I promise, I don't want that to diminish the message because this stuff works. So the Supremes tool is one I want you to remember. If it feels icky, sleazy, slimy, gross, stop. And today you're going to learn a way to do it better. One other thing I want to tell you about selling, we got 68,000 people on here, which is just incredible. But all of you all are going to have different things that may make you feel icky, sleazy, slimy, gross. And that's the beauty of what you're learning today. It is not a one size fits all. It is not a you must do A, B, and C or else. This is bendable. And that's why authentic selling has grown so fast. So maybe you've been taught to do it wrong. Maybe you've been taught to say things like, well, if you give up your Starbucks, you could afford my product or service. We're done with giving up Starbucks. Guilt is an amateur sales tool. You don't need it, and neither do I. So what is authentic selling? Authentic selling, and I know there's a lot of definitions, but so I teach in the New Kids on the Block style, step by step, because that's the way I learn. So I promise you, by the end of our time together, you are absolutely going to know how to write $1 million emails. As sure as my hair is red, you will have it, and you will have access to examples for free. But you need to know, we need to speak the same language, right? What is selling? What is authentic selling? Authentic selling is the process that I created 10 years ago. I took my corporate sales experience and created a process that no longer has to feel icky, sleazy, slimy, or gross. These are the foundations. We're just going to breeze through them because I just want you to get a feel of the heart of what you're learning today. Foundation number one is do the common things uncommonly well. All the time, people say, how do I double my course launch? How do I stand out in a sea of noise online? Have any of you all ever felt that way? Please tell me in the chat. I love talking and feedback. So tell me, have you ever felt that way? I know I'm not alone. I know my students aren't alone. The way to stand out is to do the common things uncommonly well because very few people do it. Authentic selling, foundation number two, is all things being equal, friends buy from friends. This one's going to become important. All things being unequal, friends buy from friends. What does this mean? It means that You need to be likable. You need to be likable, and that's not going to be hard, but you need to know how to do it the right way. Foundation number 3, consistency equals trust. Trust equals buying. So in a world where there is a lot of distrust, right? And maybe rightfully so, I want to be the exception. I want our students to be the exception. And I want your business to be the exception, because when people trust you, then they are happy to work with you. And why does that matter? Because that eliminates some of the objections, some of the, well, I need to think about it, or I need to talk about it. Those kind of go away, not totally, but you will get less of them when people trust you. 4th foundation is believe. Now, I know y'all believe in yourselves. Believe's the magic word in my house. They always say in the South, it's please. It's not, it's believe. And I know you believe in yourself because you're here. But don't miss this. This is crucial. You need to believe in the life-changing difference of your product or service if you're going to go out and sell it. Some of you are thinking, well, hold up. I sell ink pens, right? How is that life-changing? You need to be able to answer that question, and I can help you. We're going to talk about that, but you need to know the difference. Foundation number 5 is the Supremes tool. If it doesn't feel like helping, stop in the name of authentic selling and find a better way. Foundation number 6 is follow-up is a must. Here's your first big takeaway. I promised you a way to double your course launch. Okay, how about a way to double your sales, period? To close 100% more sales than you closed last year. It's follow-up. This is not a Kendrickism. This is not an authentic sellingism. This is a fact. So sometimes people have opinions, right? This is not an opinion. This is a fact. You will, when you learn how to follow up the right way, a way that doesn't feel icky, sleazy, slimy, gross, you will close more sales. You will double your sales. Now, one thing I want to point out, well, hold up, Kendrick. Foundation number 5 is contradictory to foundation number 6 because follow-up feels icky, sleazy, slimy, gross. Great. Then you are understanding the golden rule when it comes to authentic selling, which is foundation number 5. But look at the last 4 words in that. Find a better way. If it doesn't feel like helping, if you've done your Supremes tool, stop in the name of authentic selling, and you're like, it feels icky, sleazy, slimy, gross, then we need to find a better way to create the same outcome. And let me assure you that in 10 years of teaching brilliant business owners like you, not one time have I not been able, that's a double negative, to find a way to alter a tool that once felt icky to a way that feels like helping. The only reason I'm telling you that is it is possible. All right, so selling is helping. At its core, selling is helping. So get a Post-it. This is my students' first assignment, and I want you all to do this. Please do this. The literal act of writing it down matters. Let's form a new neuro pathway in your brain about selling. Write down selling is helping. Post it. Take a picture of it, post it on Instagram, and tag Teachable and tag me at Kendrick Shope. I want to see it. I love this. I believe that the world changes when people are happy to testify about their products and services, because that means your life-changing work is getting out there. And that starts with feeling like I am helping rather than being icky, sleazy, slimy, gross, pushy. So take a picture of it, take a picture of the screen, actually write it down, right? Take a picture of it, tag us on Instagram at Teachable and at Kendrick Shope. Today, we're going to talk about buyer psychology. Now, some of y'all may be saying, wait, hold the flick up. I don't ever say flick. Hold up. We're learning about emails. Great. So this buyer psychology, you're not going to learn anywhere else. It is unique to authentic selling. Everybody has 4 buying personalities in them. You have them. I have them. Oprah has them. Jess has them. We all have them. So it's really important that you understand you have all 4. And that means your audience has all 4. Those are yellow, blue, green, and red. And we're going to talk a lot about this because this informs your email strategy. So lots of people say when I go through this, no, I'm only a green. And a lot of you all are going to think I'm only a green. So Women, let me ask you a question. I know there are other people on here, but I can only speak to my experience as a woman. Some days I wake up and I feel like I imagine Beyonce feels when she wakes up. Queen of the world, right? Like, take names, I am on a roll. And other days I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I can't get out of bed. I just can't get out of bed. Everything is wrong. Yes, I'm dramatic. But there's a paradox there, right? Like, well, are you feeling like Beyonce, or are you feeling like you want to pull the covers over your head? That's proof. If you've ever had that difference of how you feel when you wake up, week 1 compared to week 2, day 1 compared to day 15, and something hasn't triggered that change, then that's proof that you have different buyer psychologies in your body, and your customers do too. So what is yellow? Yellow's like positive. They're social. They're dynamic. They are passionate. There's no good or bad here, by the way. We all, yellow sellers, if you will, always have, or all sellers have positive and negative. We call them areas of opportunity. Lots of people say, I think that you're yellow. I'm not yellow. I'm highly yellow. But I'm not yellow. There, anyway, areas of opportunity: excitable, chaotic, rash, sometimes ostentatious. But yellow is social, okay? This is going to make sense in a minute. Blue on a good day, we're talking about people right now. We're going to drill this down to emails in a minute. Blue on a good day is careful, meticulous, attention to every detail, question, introvert. Areas of opportunity: they can be prudish, they can be hesitant, they can be untrusting, they can be cold, and they can be standoffish. We all have all 4 of these in here. Some of this buyer psychology as it relates to emails, as I said, you can only learn it here. You can only learn it inside of Authentic Selling. But this idea came from a test called Discovery Insights. And I had to take that as a personality test when I was in pharmaceutical sales, because then we had to sell doctors based on our personality. What we want to do, the way we flip that is, we're going to sell doctors. I mean, not going to sell doctors. We're going to sell your people based on their personality. So we got yellow and we got blue. Green on a good day: considerate, encouraging, generous, patient. Could be an extrovert on an introvert. On a day where they might be having more areas of opportunity, they're stubborn. They are too trusting. They may be meek. They may become too dependent because they don't want to be seen. And finally, red. And this is what I am, although that looks pink. Red is competitive, can be inflexible. This is on a good day. They got huge work ethic, can be extrovert or introvert. Areas of opportunity: they can be aggressive. They can be feel that they are an expert. That word's going to be important. And man, am I ever highly impatient. So this is buyer psychology, right? We got yellow, blue, green, red. How you can remember that is, how many of you remember the commercial for Ziploc? Y'all are probably too young for this, but there used to be a commercial for Ziploc bags, and it said yellow and blue make green. We learned that as kids too, right? You mix colors, yellow and blue make green. That's the order: yellow, blue, green, and then red's its sort of outlier out here. So we all have these personalities that are within us. When you apply these personalities, you can create things like this. One email that's responsible for over $1 million in sales. Did other things happen that created that $1 million in sales? Sure. But I am talking about the email was sent and $1 million in sales was booked from the link in the email. One other thing we need to point out: there are 3 types of emails. So by now you are thinking, holy heck, all this should be new to you. Sorry, I was just checking to make sure I'm on time because I can be long-winded. So there are 3 types of emails that convert. There are follow-up emails. Remember, we talked about those in the Foundations of Authentic Selling. Follow-up is one-to-one. So I have a sales call with Jess to tell her about authentic selling. She doesn't need it, but let's pretend she does. Jess says, okay, great. Let me go look at my finances. I'll come back to you. What happens after that call is called a follow-up email. Learn how to do that. You will double your business. That's one-to-one. Funnels, which we're going to talk about today, as well as sales emails, are one-to-many most times. Sales emails can be one-to-one, but normally in our industry, it's one-to-many. And when you're using and launching a course, when you're launching a course and using an amazing platform like Teachable, funnels become one of your best good friends, like Forrest Gump. Because funnels, is what you send to your email list to convince them, bad word, to buy. Here's the other thing. This buyer psychology applies to emails, but it also applies to social media. So let's talk about it. The color email funnel. We hadn't talked about a white email yet. A white email. What is a white email? My hair's in my way. A white email is just hold up. What the heck is going on? A white email is just the email that says, hey, the course is open. There's not a lot of selling. This is direct. It's to the point. That's what a white email is. A yellow email it tells a story. So you may have heard stories sell, and they do, but only 25% of the time. When I go into Barnes & Noble and I look at all the sales books, which the majority are written by men, but I'm going to change that, by the way. Come hell or high water, I'm going to change that. There are lots of books written about stories. Stories sell, but they only sell 25% of the time. So that's a yellow email. Yellow and blue make green. So what's a blue email? A blue email would quote things like this: statistics and testimonials. That's a blue email. Remember, our blue people like facts. They're analytical. So a blue email would be testimonials or statistics, data. Yellow and blue make green. What's a green email? A green email is an email that focuses on the overall benefit beyond money or beyond the desired outcome. So if you and I were to have a conversation and I said, why did you start your business? Some of you may say money, but I'm willing to bet that the majority of you will have a different reason you started your business. And by the way, there's nothing wrong if it's money. I love the things that I'm able to provide for my family because of this business. That reason you started your business is how we write green emails. We write from that place. We tell people what's possible, but not from a financial win, or not even like life coaches. It's not even overcoming limiting beliefs. It's what you do after you overcome those limiting beliefs. Okay. The transformation. And then a red email is short. It's 3 sentences, 3 to 5 sentences or less. And it is basically buy now, buy me. I'm the best product. Here we go. Now, some of you are thinking right here, right now, I don't respond to red emails. I am telling you that at least one time in your life you will. There will be a red something, a red social media post or a red email that makes you click, because we all have all of these in our personality, and that means that your buyers do too. So let's talk about, I'm missing my glasses. I told y'all I was nervous. I don't know if y'all can see my face, but holy heck.
No, you're doing great. I mean, we couldn't even tell if you are.
Can you see my face, Jess, or no?
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Yes.
Well, okay, so I didn't have my glasses on. That's how nervous I am. So let's talk about email subjects. Okay, Kendrick, wait. I thought we were going to talk about $1 million email launch strategy. We are. And the most important part of any sales email is the subject. Because if the subject doesn't make me want to open, I don't care how well or what kind of buyer psychology is written inside the email. It doesn't matter. You have to get someone to open it. So if you're going to write emails that sell $1 million, we need to know how to get people to open them. Now, here's the thing. These email subjects aren't sexy. They're not fun, but they work. Does that mean that all email subjects have to be this bland? Nope. But I am telling you, I tell our students, give it a 90-day try. Try using these for your blog post and for your emails for 90 days. As sure as my hair is red, the majority of you are going to see your email opens go up. Number 1, most frequently opened email subject is number headline. This is self-explanatory. 30 ways to make drinking tea more delightful. Number 2, now is reader responsibility. This has changed. It used to be how to. Reader responsibility is ways you need to make drinking tea more delightful. Think about this from a place I see this a lot is moms. So if you're selling to moms, so the thing you must know before you put sunscreen on your kid this year, right? Like you got to know it. You got to. Third most frequently open email subject is how to. Fourth is just normal. It's just blah, ways to make drinking tea more delightful. And then the last one is questions. What are ways to make drinking tea more delightful? Questions could also be insider secrets. So the insider secret to making drinking tea more delightful. All right, you're going to get these if you don't already have them in the PDF that comes with this, so you don't have to write all this down because I'm going to give you a lot. Biggest mistake people make in emails. So I teach in bookends lots of times, step by step by step, and bookends. So authentic selling always starts with a genuine thank you, right? Thank you for being here. Now you're in the middle, and when we end this, it'll bookend with a celebration. Emails are the same way. They bookend, they start with an email subject. They bookend, so between these two bookends, with a call to action. The single biggest mistake people make inside of an email, so after we get past the email subject, is they either don't have a call to action, it's hidden, or it's not good enough. Not good enough to get people to click. So I gave you some calls to action here because literally I could talk for 90 minutes about how to create a call to action that converts. There's a lot of psychology in it, but here are 15 examples. You can take them and you can use them. The biggest mistake people make is they don't have one or it's hidden. There's this trend in the industry, and it's been around for about 6 years, to only put the call to action in the PS because people will skip the email and scroll down to the PS. That's fine. I don't mind a call to action in the PS, but energetically, I am telling you the call to action needs to be in the body of the email too, because it's not a PS. You don't write this email and be, oh, by the way, I forgot. Yeah, here's where you buy. It just energetically is off. It also subconsciously can create distrust. I know you're selling me in this email, even if you're telling me a story. Tell me what you want me to do, and also put it in the PS. So biggest mistake people make in writing emails inside the body of an email is the call to action is bad, or the call to action doesn't exist, or it's hidden. I was working with a woman. She ended up having a $500,000 or $600,000 launch. This was her second launch ever. And she's like, I don't know what to do. She hired me because midway through the launch, her emails weren't getting open. She wasn't making sales. And I said, I don't even see a call to action. Like, it was so buried, I couldn't even tell what the person wanted me to do. Hear me say this. Your people are like my people. They are busy. They are overstimulated. They may have their watch going off and their iPhone going off, and their dogs need to go out, and their favorite show on, and New Kids on the Block playing in their ears. What does that mean? It means you have to make your content super simple. This is called the Prince tool. Y'all remember Prince? I just want your extra time and your kiss. This is the Prince kiss tool. KISS. Keep it super simple. Some of you are thinking, well, does that make me not an expert? No, because, and don't miss this, when people are multitasking, and studies show that 96% of people are multitasking when they are reading email on their phone or on their computer. They have the same brain capacity as someone who is high from smoking weed. This was according to a real simple study in 2012, I believe. The same brain capacity as someone who is high from smoking weed when you're multitasking. We don't want to be like Nelly, light it up, take a puff, pass it to me now, pass it to the left. No. We need to get people's attention because they're already going to be there. That's where the Prince tool comes in. Keep it super simple. Your calls to action don't need to be hidden. The other problem is people have too many calls to action. Oh my gosh, this is such a trend in the industry, and I've done it, and there are places to do it, but 95% of the time you need one call to action. I'll tell you where this an example where you all have seen this. You opt in for somebody's email funnel for their freebie. Let's say I'm going to give you 10 ways to make whatever, $500 in 24 hours. You opt in for that. And it says, hey, thanks so much, white email. Thanks so much for downloading my freebie. Before you do that, join me on Facebook where you can get free coaching. The minute they click that Facebook link, they are never coming back to download the freebie. So the PS could have and by the way, here's your freebie. You missed it. They've gone off into Facebook land or Instagram land. Or check out my offers. Nope. You've lost the opportunity to get them to do what you really wanted them to do. So don't have too many calls to action. When you're starting, have one. So we talked about buyer psychology, right? and I've hinted about what this looks like in emails. Let's talk about it. A white email is informational. It's early adopters. It's usually the first email in a funnel. The freebies delivered, cart open. Your calls to action for this are something usually like buy now, download now. You can soften that a little bit. That's ultimately what you want people to do. There's not a lot of selling in here. Early adopters means I saw Kendrick on the Teachable conference, and for whatever reason, I am sold. I want to learn from her. I see a white email, done. There's no hesitation. Next email is yellow, social email. It's a story. It's always the second email in a funnel. The goal of this is for people to see you or see themselves through some transformational story. See themselves through the story that you're telling, whether it's about your customer or whether it's about you. Now, some of you all are thinking, but do I tell stories about customers here? Because blue was testimonials. You can, but a yellow email is going to go more in depth. So this is story based. One thing to remember when you're writing emails is look at the formatting. Especially when you're writing these stories, people read them on their phone, right? And so if you've got a 10 sentence paragraph, which grammatically you wouldn't necessarily have spaces or returns or double spaces between, on somebody's phone, they're going to look at that and say, too much, can't read it. So you got to be careful with that. That's a yellow email, second email in a funnel. Next email is blue. It's proof. It's statistics, testimonials. It's usually the third email in a funnel, and it's a new way of looking at things. It is, okay, I've told you this amazing story, but stories can play on emotion, right? Numbers don't lie. Trust the numbers. The next email, and it's the fourth email in a funnel, is that green email. And this can be a story. It can be a testimonial. You can pull components in from other colors, but the takeaway from this email is the benefit beyond money, or the benefit beyond changing your thoughts, the benefits, the transformation. Now, I've given examples of calls to action down here, but when we're talking about a funnel, let's talk about a course launch. Once the cart is open, if it's a cart open, cart closed, every single call to action will be some sort of buy me. You might have email with questions. At this point, you probably wouldn't have joined a Facebook group. Final email is red. Reds view themselves as the expert, whether they know it or not. Remember, there's no good or bad color. I am a red. A lot of people are put off by reds, but you have red inside of you. These people like action. They do not pay attention to detail. These emails do not have a lot of detail in them. It is basically last chance, buy now, don't miss. And I was reading Harvard Business Review last week. We were on spring break, and I was reading it because it was about how to change anyone's mind, which is about persuasion, not necessarily selling. There on page 39, it says what leaders can do to drive sales. And this is dense. Like there's a lot here. And I don't recommend that you get it unless you nerd out on data, sales data like I do. But what I noticed is, and they didn't call it authentic selling, but that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the psychology. More and more red type emails are converting better and better and better, or the red sale. Why? Well, there are two types of selling. There is the informational sell, and there is the educational sell. For our points and purposes, the informational sell is somebody who's reading your emails and they know, I'm looking for a solution. I'm looking for a life coach. I know I have this problem. You signed up for this Teachable conference because you want to grow an amazing business and you want to learn from leaders, right? So you knew you wanted that. The educational sell is like what I did with you at the top of this class, speech, whatever, webinar, whatever it's called. I told you why you needed selling. Because I know that a lot of you think, no, I'm not going to do that sales stuff. So the educational sell led you to see, oh, I actually do need selling. Reds respond very well to that. This is when I sold doctors who thought they were an expert, and all of them were. They were an expert, but they didn't want some 20-something-year-old coming in and telling them how to practice medicine, and that's not what a drug rep does. The point is, they weren't going to listen to me saying, you need to, or have you considered. So reds lead, when you're writing a red email, it is one of two things. It is either buy now, don't miss, last chance, or it is leading people to the answer through an educational sell. Making, like, just like we did with selling. So you may think selling is this, or you've had this experience, but actually the black and white definition is the exchange of money for a product or service. If we were having a one-on-one conversation, I would say, so what do you extrapolate from that? You let them go, oh, yes, I see that. Yes, I see that. Yes, I see that. One other way, and this can be used on your sales pages too. The reason I'm spending so much time here is because this Harvard Business Review came out in March of 2021. If Harvard Business Review says more people are responding to this type of selling, you need to know it. Another way that we do this a lot is it's a series of questions. Are you this? Have you this? Do you this? A lot of experts say you got to know your niche and you got to drill down. I'm checking my time. Drill down, drill down, drill down, right? It's got to be like pinpoint specific, like this. And they're not wrong. And you may hear people talk about that here today or yesterday, and that's fine. But here's the thing that is missing from that. What if you're a life coach and you work with corporate women and stay-at-home moms? Do you have to choose? Well, no, not always. What if you're like me and you work with life coaches, you work with healers, you work with business owners, you work with sleep consultants, I work with all kinds of businesses, right? So one of the ways to speak to all kinds of businesses, because you all have different pain points. Ultimately, you want to sell, you want to make more money, you want to help more people, but the copy, I mean, I could write an entire sales page just directed towards sleep consultants. So you do this through red selling, through the informational sell. Do you? It's a series of questions, and I get to teach my favorite tool ever right here. Do you feel frustrated because you're not getting enough customers? Yes. Are you searching and Googling for how to make money in your business? Yes. Do you wonder if all of this stuff is a fake or a fraud? Whatever. The point is, you ask a series of questions. All those questions get a yes. In the buyer's mind, you're not doing this. It's on a sales page. Another way we do this is, are you a life coach who is looking to help more people? Or you could be a sleep consultant who is looking to blah, blah, blah. Or maybe you're an artist who blah, blah, blah. Yes, no, 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 yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're getting yeses and nos in that example. I'm confusing metaphors. The whole point here is it's a series of questions. They're either meant to self-identify, yep, I'm the sleep coach, that's me, or they're meant to get a series of yeses. Yes, yes, yes. This is my pain point. This is my pain point. This is my pain point. That's called a silent close. Every time you get a yes, or even if someone self-identifies in the, are you a sleep consultant? Are you an artist? Are you a life coach? Yes, that's me. They've self-identified. They're doing this, whether they're physically doing it or not. And that's called the Dr. Dre tool. The Dr. Dre is a rapper. He was in NWA, and he had a song in 1995 called Keep Their Heads Ringing. And y'all know it. It goes ring, ding, dong, ring, a ding, 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 dong, keep their heads ringing. That's what your email copy needs to do. That's what your sales emails need to do, because whether people are physically doing this or they're doing it in their head, that is a silent close. Every time you get a yes, that is a silent close. Statistics show it takes 7 to 10 silent closes before somebody buys from you or trusts you enough to buy from you. What's all this got to do with red? Reds respond to that. Short question, yes, that's me. Short question, yes, that's me. Short question, yes, that's me. I've got the solution by now. Or, is this you? No. Is this you? No. Is this you? Yes, that's me. Here's the solution by now. That's a red email. So we talked about mistakes. One other mistake with CTAs is using the word if. I see it all the time. There's a lot of psychology in this. I won't go into it, but don't say, if you are a life coach looking to blah, blah, blah. If you are a sleep consultant. No, we don't. Are you? Because we want them to get that yes. We talked about having too many CTAs and not having one that's clear, right? Having to search for it. So now you know people have all these colors in their personality. Yellow, blue, green, red. They don't have white because white isn't a personality. But our email funnels for our $1 million email strategy looks like this: white, yellow, blue, green, red. Do you only send 5 emails? It depends. We're going to talk about that. Again, here's a schedule for you. To look at 6 days worth. Oh, shoot. Let me go back up real quick. It's a suggestion. This is what we did on million dollar sales. I've had the privilege of working behind the scenes of some of the most high profile launches in this industry. We do this. When somebody says, I want to sell $800,000, I want to sell $500,000. And I know those numbers sound like monopoly money. I laugh with my husband all the time. I'm like, it just sounds like monopoly money to me, but I see people do it all the time. So I'm not going to go through this because you have it in your PDF, but this is an example. Now, cart close, we do one of every color almost, yellow, blue, green. We just don't do a white, and we do red and red. Some of you are saying, oh my God, this is pushing my sales guardrail. Great, then we'll find a better way. We'll find a better way. But typically, I tell people to send 7 on the last day. You don't have to. Have I seen courses hit $1 million in sales without it? Yes, your guardrail trumps everything I say. But we still have to find a way to do what these emails would do. So y'all can print this, y'all can do it. You're going to get examples of these emails as well. So let's talk about what we've learned. And let's talk about how to apply it in a little bit. Whoa, big thunder. Let's talk about what you've learned, and then I want to sort of tie a bow on it. I like bows. You've learned a multi-million-dollar email launch strategy. What is that? Some of you are thinking, wait, what? This went super fast. So let me tell you what it was. Number one, the most important part of any email is the subject, right? The subject. You learned the 5 most frequently opened subject lines. Those 5 have been the same. Their order has changed since I started teaching sales for 10 years. Those have been the same. People say to me all the time, Kendrick, your email subjects need to be more creative. Sometimes they do. I just sent one that said sooner or later the nausea will get you. That doesn't fit into the bucket. So yes, you can absolutely throw some creative ones in there. But for 10 years, those email subjects have been the most frequently opened. They work. So we're talking about $1 million email launch strategy, right? Starts with the subject. Step number 2 is the body of the email. Now, we learned that the body of a white email, it's just white. It's just, hey, this is open. If you're ready to make more money in your business and learn how to help more people, enroll in ASU. Click here. It's open, right? Early adopters. We learned that the body of a yellow email tells a story. And the goal of the story is not for them to learn about you, which is a big mistake people make. They write these long emails because they've been told stories sell, because they're trying to share their expertise and show that they're an expert, and people don't care. They don't. Think about it. When I got on this call and I said, why you can trust me, I flew through that slide. I wanted you to know that, yes, I am an expert, but if I'd spent 10 slides talking about myself, y'all would have zoned out. Some of y'all would have thought, oh my gosh, she's so arrogant. People don't care about you. They care about what you can do for them. The yellow email tells a story, but the goal is for them to see themselves through that story. So we're talking about bodies of emails, yellow email, blue email. Blue email statistics and testimonials. Every single one of you, regardless of how new or seasoned you are in business, will have statistics that you can Google that relate to your business. If you go back and you look at the slides here, or you rewatch this, which I hope you do because this stuff works, you will see I quoted statistics all the way through. All you got to do is Google them. They're there. Yellow, blue, green. Green email is the transformation. And you can do that through a story. You can do that through statistics. You can do it through testimonials. But it is the transformation beyond what the customer thinks they want. The transformation beyond money, the overall good to the world, the overall good to the family, the overall good to how they feel when they wear your new clothes. And then the final email, body of an email, is red. And you learned a lot about red. You learned that Harvard Business Review says this type of selling is going to become more important. It's going to become more important. They don't call it red, but that's exactly what they're talking about in here. You learn that there's a couple of different types of red. There's the educational sale. So you already know you need help with your limiting beliefs. You're just looking for a life coach. Or there is, that's the informative sale. Or you have the educational sale where I need to show you that you need this, right? I need to show you that you need selling in order to make more money. And reds like to be seen as the expert. So you have to lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. So again, we're talking about $1 million course email strategy, right? So we got the body of these emails. white, yellow, blue, green, white, yellow, blue, green, red. The other thing to keep in mind in these, and you're going to get email examples of all of these. So I am giving you our 2015 sales school, which is ASU, just with a different name, funnel. That launch in 2015, well, we sold $1 million that year. It was the first year I hit $1 million in revenue. So that email funnel created the bare minimum of $500,000 in business. It may have created $1 million for us. Can't remember the exact details. You're getting examples of white emails. All of these have been used. So I didn't just throw them together. I either use them with our students, I've tested them, or I've used them personally. You're getting examples of all of these. And inside of ASU, we have things called take and tweaks. So take and tweak means you take the email, you can use it word for word, as long as you tweak it to meet your business. So if you're a sales coach, you're not going to say enroll in ASU or enroll in sales school, right? Because that's my product. You obviously don't want to lie. You don't want to say you're going to get 10 months of coaching if you're not. But the body of the email, you take them, tweak them. They are yours. And when you tweak them, it will make them different enough so people don't realize they're reading the same email from the life coach, from the business coach, from the marketing coach. How do I know this? Because I've been teaching it for 10 years, and never once has somebody come back and said, hey, she said she read my email that Susie, the life coach, did. So you're going to get examples of all of these, because the best way to write emails is practice, and you need examples. But you know what the body should consist of. And then we talk about the close, right? Or the CTA. And you learned that the CTA needs to be clear, needs to be obvious, that it doesn't necessarily come at the top of an email, because they're going to go off and they're never going to read the rest of your email. You don't want to have multiple calls to action. It's okay to have it as the PS, but also have it in the body. Don't use the word if, and you got 10, 15 calls to actions that you can take and tweak to your business. I learned by seeing. I learned by all the ways, but I need to try. And so inside of ASU, I have created like all these templates, all these take and tweaks, because that's the best way to learn. Now you understand what you need to do. Now go practice it following the template, and then come back and we'll fix it so it works. If you need to fix it, we'll change it. Step by step. Remember, step by step. The final thing that we learned as far as email strategy is you need to keep it super simple. There's all this talk about personality and all this talk about wanting to stand out. Well, yes, but if people are multitasking, they're having that Nelly moment. Light it up, take a puff, pass it to me now, pass it to the left, and we need to give them a Prince moment. I just want your extra time and your kiss. Keep it super simple. You learned that selling should never, ever, ever, ever again feel icky, sleazy, slimy, or gross for longer than this. Because we need to find a way to turn it into helping, loving, exciting, and fun. And yeah, it's possible. It's what our students say we do all the time. You understand the number one mistake that sales emails make? I kind of gave you two, actually. Number one is too many calls to action, or the call to action isn't clear, or using the word if. So the problem is with the call to action. But also, if the subject doesn't get the email open, it doesn't matter what the call to action is. And you got a roadmap to launch your course and eliminate the guesswork. Literally, you're getting the entire funnel from free training to cart close. And you got clarity about your launch plan, number of emails, time of emails, how to use this for buyer psychology. One other thing I want to point out is this same buyer psychology can be applied to social media. So we have a free training specifically about how to use this for social media. And I didn't think about this, but if y'all want it, email us. I'll give it to you free. It's authenticselling@kendrickshope.com. If you can't see how to connect those dots, or we can just add it actually to the sheet where you get the emails. But it's how to apply all this to social media. But it's the same premise. You want to tell a story. You want to use statistics. You want to use green, the benefit beyond the desired result, and then red, fear of missing out, or expert level selling. So one of the things that I like to do when we're done is celebrate. So I want to celebrate you. This is all the things that you've learned, and look how incredible you are. I mean, look at what you have taken in. So much information today. You may not have retained it, but I promise you, as sure as my hair is red, if you follow this, your courses will sell more. And yes, they absolutely can hit $1 million and beyond. So I celebrate you and the work and the lives that you're going to touch as you go out and do your work. And I know that you will do that because you're here to learn from all of these fabulous experts. So thank you for your time. I'm happy to take questions, Jess. Do I
Yeah.
unshare my screen? Is that what I do?
Yeah, here we go. Okay, first of all, huge, huge, huge thank you to Kendrick in the chat. We have a ton of questions. One comment I will read out. I would be remiss if I didn't read this one out, which was from Ruth B. Question for Kendrick: why did you feel so nervous when he gave us so much value and we loved the session? I totally agree, Kendrick. This was incredible, and I'm going to just dive into these questions because I know
Sure.
we're not going to get through all of them. Now, okay, scrolling up here. And by the way, type your questions in the chat as we go through them. Now, let me just scroll up here. And for those wondering, the PDF will be, I think we can add it into the replay, so it's all on the schedule page, but you'll also get the wrap-up email with our speaker info, and that link is in there under Kendrick's section. So we've made it super easy for you to be able to find that. We have a question from Andrea. Andrea, do you have to send separate emails for each buyer psychology personality, or do you combine each color into one email to cater to each person in your target audience?
That's a fantastic question. The answer is yes, send separate emails. It'll get confusing and it'll get too long if you do it in one. If you only, let's say that you're only going to send 3 emails, what do you eliminate? I would combine blue and yellow. So I would do sort of like what we talked about, a testimonial email with a story. But yeah, you need to send at least one of each.
Great. We have a question here from Manila, who's wondering, what books or resources would you recommend if one wants to learn more about the colors and psychology behind this in more depth? This has, by the way, been super fascinating, all in capital letters. I'm absolutely loving this session. Thank you for your time and the knowledge you shared, Kendrick. You're lovely.
Thank you. And thank you also to Ruth, and thank you to the woman who had the question before, the person, thank you. Books about color psychology. There aren't any because I created it. However, Harvard Business Review talks about, they don't call it red, but they talk about that. You'll know when you get here. It's on page, I think, 39. The other thing is you can read the information on Discovery Insights. I am not affiliated with them, but you can Google that, Discovery Insights. That's where we as pharma reps, or at least Lily, I began to learn about that. But as far as more in depth, I don't know of a place because I basically just created that based off of what I know. And I was a psychology major, so I know that to be true. But here's my promise. If you have questions that you want me to answer, email them to me. AuthenticSelling@KendrickShope.com. I promise to answer them, and I promise not to try to sell you anything. So just email me.
Awesome. And also, highly recommend you check out Kendrick on social. I know we don't have it in your name here, but at Kendrick Shope, just her name on all the platforms. Any dots in between?
Nope, no dots.
Perfect. Super easy. All right. We have a question from M, who's wondering, what kind of calls to action would you recommend for an artist selling prints? I have a hard time coming up with those, even though I know that's what I'm supposed to write.
Yeah, this is, I love this question. Thank you so much for this question. I have worked with, in 10 years, several artists, two of which are, one of which I'm working with now privately. She's one of my favorite customers I've ever worked with because of this. It's just a little bit different as you're selling art. So the first thing, Em, I would say, I'm going to give you 2 assignments. The first one is, I want you to think about what art does for people. This is going to be just a little bit longer, but not too long. What does art do for people? Right? Art can take you to a place where you feel restored. Let's say I've got a picture of the beach right up here, right? And so I look at that picture and I think of all the happy, like if I think about all the happy memories that I have with my family there, I literally can smell the salt in the air right now as I'm looking at it. Art is transformative. So a call to action, I don't know what kind of art you do, you create, but let's assume for a minute you create landscapes. Then a call to action might be, you deserve an escape every time you walk in your office. Click here to look at the prints. That, and again, that's off the top of my head, but think about the
Wow.
overall benefit. That's what we did with our artist work that we're working with privately, and her sales have tripled. So think about the overall benefit.
I think everyone's credit card is out right now for some prints after that
Yeah,
one.
exactly. Right. I love art.
All right. Here is a question from Faye. Do you recommend explicitly naming the price of your product or course in your funnel emails?
Love, love, love this question. Love it, love it, love it. So the answer is yes and no. So it depends on the price. I am all about transparency. I am all about people knowing what the cost is. However, we have a general rule that if the price is over $10,000, we do not put it on the sales page, not to trick people, but because I have a lot of people who pay $40,000 to work with me. They may not want their spouses to know. They may not want their family to know. They may know that she's working with Kendrick. They may know that he's working with Kendrick, but they may not want people to know, oh my gosh, they paid $40,000 for that. So out of respect for the people paying higher prices, we do not include that on the website or in sales emails. And I would not put it in every sales email. If you're going to drive them to a sales page, so let's say it's a course and it's $3,000, you're going to drive them to the sales page, let the sales page do its work for you. There's a way to write that. Can you put it in a couple of emails? Sure, it would go in the white email. If it's a massive savings, it would go in the red email.
Wow, I love that breakdown. This was an interesting question around the list size to hitting certain numbers. And someone was asking about, for the people that you worked with that hit the $1 million mark, realistically, like what is the size of their email list, if you know that, to hit that?
It's a great question. And I know exactly what I don't know exactly. I assume exactly what you're thinking because we teach this. We say when for planning purposes, count on about 1 to 3% of your list converting. Authentic selling students usually get about 5, but that can, and I want y'all to stick with me, that can be disheartening when you're thinking about launching a course and you're like, wait, what? Here's the thing. There's so much more that goes into that. So the people who have hit $1 million, I had someone hit $18 million. Her list was huge. I had the first person I ever had hit $1 million. Her list was 1,152 people. How did she hit $1 million with that? I can tell you. She created a Facebook group and she lived in it 24/7 and she gave massive value and she sold like this. I don't recommend that, by the way, because she burned out, completely burned out. But there are ways, it depends on you. So I have seen it from 1,000 to I have hit the first year I hit $1 million. We were probably at 5,000 ish on our email list. It's all over the board, but the industry standard for planning purposes, shoot low so you blow your mind. There are things you can do depending on your list size to absolutely get closer to that.
That's really great to know. And I'm so glad that you said, 1 to 3%. We say 2% on average because, you don't want to be someone that just assumes that they're going to get this high percentage and then you put so much into it and then you're disappointed. So much better to be pleasantly surprised and be, I think, conservative and practical about it.
It is. And even when we work with, like, I said, I've worked with some of like the most successful launches in the industry, and they will say, we've converted at 6%, 10%. That's fantastic. Our must goal is going to be 1 to 3 because that's what people see. Are there examples of where people do more than that? All the time, all day long. I've seen it over and over, but exactly what Jess said. You want to be realistic.
Kendrick, thank you so much for this. Another big thank you for Kendrick in the chat. As a reminder, so we will be sending out a wrap-up email after the summit. So all of her social links, the free PDF that she mentioned will be there. But I think we'll also be able to add it in below the replay video that will be up for a limited time. Again, can't thank you enough. Where is the best place for people to stay in contact with you if they're like, this was great, but I have so many more questions?
Yeah, so 3 ways. Number 1, email me. I answer them. Yes, I will answer them all, I promised. AuthenticSelling@KendrickShope.com. Number 2, Instagram, easy, DM @KendrickShope.com. Or if this is something that resonated with you, and see, I just used if, that's a bad call to action, bad example, go to KendrickShope.com. There are tons of free resources there that will be helpful. And
amazing. Yeah, well, thank you, Kendrick. And I'm going to stick around for a few minutes to go over the summit bundle that we have going on. I will answer your questions. Any questions you have, I will be here. But one more time, huge thank you to you, Kendrick, and we will see you soon.
Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I believe in you. Go do it.
Yeah. That was great, guys, wasn't it? It's so hard for me not to. I have like a notebook here, and I really want to keep taking notes. I'll have to do that in the replay because there's so many interesting things that get shared, and the whole color psychology. I don't know about you, but I found that very helpful for understanding the different types of emails rather than being like, you should write a persuasive email or an email with stats. But the fact that the colors really broke it down, let me know if that also resonated with you. So I'm going to share my screen here just so you can see. This is our 2021 Creator Success Bundle. Now, if this is your first session, if you're not familiar with what we are offering, by joining Teachable, you not only get access to the platform, our professional plan that allows you to both create and sell your own online courses, if you want to sell digital products, as well as coaching. But what makes this summit bundle special and what we don't do on a regular basis is that some of our speakers have been very, very kind to include their premium courses in this offer. So what you're getting, and this is a value of over $4,000, and I want to say that the value is not a made up number of like, we think that this course is worth this much. These are courses that they sell separately on their websites, and they've just been kind to include it just for the summit. So the first course that you get access to is with Kay Putnam. It is called Clarity Week, and it is there to help you with getting clear on your pricing strategy, attracting your ideal customers, and really getting more focus and clarity on how you're approaching your business. The second course is the Spark Strategy with Tiffany Oliver, who is actually speaking later on today. And her session is going to be for you if you are looking to build a brand or at least rebrand yourself. And what I appreciate with what Tiffany shares, and by the way, this course is selling for over $400, is that one, she helps you do this in a day, but two, it's not just how to make a beautiful brand or a stunning brand. It is one that is also strategic and actually helps you get results. The third course is with Melissa Pang, who is also speaking later today. Highly recommend both of these sessions. Make sure you tune in for them. And this is for building a marketing strategy. So, if marketing is something that you've been struggling with, or you want to be able to follow a framework, you want to understand certain barriers that a lot of entrepreneurs face and how to overcome it, highly recommend. She's just incredible at breaking things down. And then you have Websites That Sell with Louisa Joe, who spoke yesterday. And this is for you if you have been staring at your website or thinking about writing your website and you're like, I don't even know where to start. What do I say on my about page? What do I put on my homepage? This is going to help you tremendously. And that is a value of over $100 for her course. And then, of course, because everyone loves templates, for those of you that have been wanting to either sell or use premium ebooks as opt-ins, Susie Whitford has included 30, I think it's 32 customizable ebook templates for you to plug and play to customize for your brand. And then, of course, all of the replays from the summit. So if you are just tuning in for the free summit, you will have access to the replays until April 11th. We wanted to give you some time to be able to, if you're anything like me, I like to watch things more than once. So you have until April 11th. However, after that date, they will be closed unless you join the Summit bundle. And from there, you will get unlimited access for as long as you're a Teachable customer. And then on the Pro plan, you also get a year of group coaching. So if you are, you know, feeling like, I have what it takes. I feel like I have this motivation, this excitement, but I don't know what's going to happen in 2 months. What if I have a question? What if in 3 months I want to do something new and I need some feedback? You have access to a year to group coaching to get that support. Plus, you have 30 days to make a decision. If you join us today, if for whatever reason it is not the right fit for you, let us know and you will get 100% back, guaranteed, no questions asked. So yeah, I'm here to answer any questions you have. If it is about Teachable, if it is the right fit for you, I will say if it is. I will also say if it is not. And okay, Joyce is wondering, can you give us a comparison of basic and pro? Absolutely. So the pro plan is our most popular plan. And I say this because one, there are no transaction fees. So the pro plan is usually the best fit for anyone that is planning to sell courses or make money with courses because you can make $1 billion. We will not take a transaction fee. You also get more advanced features. We've got like our one-click upsells. We have certificates, compliance mode. And compliance mode means that you can determine how far someone has to progress through a course or to watch a video in order to unlock the next lecture. And this is great if it also quiz results. If you want to give them a quiz before they can unlock the next section, you can enable that as well. And with the pro, you also get access to the year of group coaching. So if for whatever reason you don't want the extra support and you're like, I just want to offer free courses, then the basic plan is a great fit. Basic plan, there are less advanced features. There is a 5% transaction fee. So keep that in mind if you are either not planning to launch your course for another 6 months to a year, or you just want to have free courses. You want to give away freebies. Basic plan would be a great fit for you. How often do you get access to the coaching? It is weekly and you get access to it for a year, and it is a group coaching, so group setting. Diana, I'm a Teachable Pro. Well, welcome or happy to have you here. And when do you get the group coaching? So if you are a Teachable customer, if you're on the Pro plan right now and you're like, wait, what about me? Do I get these bonuses? Yes, they actually should automatically be in your Teachable U. If you click on Teachable U, scroll down, you should see them. If for whatever reason you don't see them there, please email us at summit@teachable.com and you will get access to all of that. Gina, can you share more about the group coaching? Yes. So the group coaching, I mean, there isn't a set agenda. So, we don't have on week 1, this is what we cover week 2, because we really want to cater it to the people that are showing up. So if you have specific questions, if you are struggling with how to do something, or perhaps you have an interesting or unique use case for what you want to do with your course or your business, and you're like, how would I make this work with Teachable? That's what those settings are for. So really, we are molding the sessions to who shows up and we answer the questions based off of who has them. Okay, Janelle's wondering, is there any accountability group or work sessions? I'm in the idea phase and would find it helpful to have some accountability to keep moving forward with validating my business. Yes. So I have a couple of answers for you, and you can see which one resonates with you, which one seems like would be the right fit. So, as far as accountability, one, I think if you are a Teachable customer, the Teachable HQ is our private community exclusive for Teachable customers. And you are matched with people who are at similar levels of business, like online course business, as you are. This, I think, has been one of the best ways that people have been finding accountability because, one, it is an incredible community of people that are all like minded, all working on the same thing as you. But you also, I mean, I've seen people have accountability buddies where they've posted in the group and they're like, does anyone want to, hold me accountable for this and I'll hold you accountable for whatever you're working on? So I think you would enjoy Teachable HQ. And as far as other ways to have some accountability, I think the group sessions are also great too. Because if you show up one week and you're like, this is what I'm working on, next week, this is what I hope to accomplish, you can show up the next week and say, hey, guys, I did it. I do have another question, and you can kind of build off of it like that. Oh, actually, one other thing to your point, Janelle, for validating your idea, also check out Teachable U. The first course in the program is all about validating your idea. So I think you'll find that super helpful. And just about Teachable Pro, virtual high five. That's amazing. Welcome. Jackie, that's good to know. Although I think it makes sense just to do your offer to get all those extra goodies. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, we do. There, a common question we get is, I'm not ready to launch my course tomorrow. Should I upgrade? And this is totally up to you. I think a lot of people do upgrade to get the bonuses. So then when they're building their business, they have that step-by-step plan. If you are someone that is, you know exactly what you need to do, you know how to market yourself, you just need the platform and you don't care about extra support, extra guidance, bonuses, resources, then, it's probably not the right fit for you. But if you are someone that does want the courses, training, accountability, community, then it's definitely going to resonate. JK hi Jess, is in the Teachable private community, is there an opportunity to co-create courses together as well? Ooh, this is an interesting one. I don't know if I've seen people connect with each other as like joint venture partners where they've cross promoted, but that's interesting to find like a co-host for your course. I mean, it's there, you can post and say like, hey guys, this is what I'm working on. I am looking for someone who maybe wants to work on this with me. I mean, the community is there for you. We're very intentional as far as the community isn't a place to like pitch and sell your work. no one wants that. And also, we're very intentional with how we've curated this community. We want people to feel that it is a safe and open place, that they can talk about their business freely and also not feel like people are going to just sell to them. And I think this falls into the category of connection. So I think you should, yeah, post in there. Let people know what you're working on and see if you can connect with people. What platform do you find Teachable HQ? Asks Susan. So that is available to all Teachable customers. So yeah, all Teachable customers, paying customers will get it. At Nefertiti, does Teachable host this summit every year? We've done this specific summit. This is the second time we've done it for Women Create. But next year, like next spring, I don't know actually. I don't want to promise you just in case we don't, but we would love to. I mean, these are a lot of fun. So yeah, but I don't want to make any promises and not be able to deliver. So Karen Mays. Hi, Jess. How well do you feel educational tutoring for grades K to 8 under the Pro Bundle? Okay, so Karen, I have a couple of follow-up questions for you. For the tutoring that you're doing, are you going to want to be able to uh, like lock access to further videos or training unless they have either passed a certain level on their quiz, have watched a certain amount of the video, or do you want to just upload a bunch of videos? You don't really care, how far they progress. They can watch it all whenever they want. The other question is, are you going to be selling these courses or are these going to be free? I'm trying to think of other for tutoring. The reason why I ask this is with a pro plan, you have more advanced features as far as compliance. So you can set that students have to watch a percentage of the video before they can unlock the next one. And this is just to ensure that, kids don't just say that they did it, that you can actually see. If that is the case, the pro would be the right fit. If you just want to upload a bunch of pre-recorded videos, you don't really care about the advanced features, basic could be a great fit. Just know that there is a 5% transaction fee. But if that doesn't matter to you or you are offering it for free, then I think it could be a great fit. Oh, Christine, I bought, but I'm not sure what the password is or how to log in. So if for whatever reason you have forgotten your password or you aren't able to log in, there's a forgot password button underneath when you're signing in. Click on that and it will resend you to a link to reset your password. If for whatever reason you aren't finding that, email us at summit@teachable.com and we'll get that sorted for you. Oh, thank you, Ava. Appreciate that. Giselle, I just learned yesterday that there were extra bonuses from previous instructors for early subscribers. The downside of multitasking, sigh. Is there any way to work back to get it, even for a reduced cost? So, Giselle, I think you're referring to the fast action bonuses. This is a tricky one because we do want to honor the people that join when we said this was only available for a limited time. Email summit@teachable.com. I don't want to make any live promises, but I understand sometimes when there's a lot going on right now. Usually it is only for the people that join during the live sessions though. What is the email address again? It is, I was going to say Sharon@teachable.com. It is not. Summit@teachable.com. But thank you, Sharon, for your question. Karen, yes, I would want further follow-up, and yes, selling, reading, writing, grammar, English as second language. Okay, so if that is the case, then I would say that the pro plan is probably a good fit. But here's what I would also say. You have 30 days to see if this is the right fit for you or not. We are not the type of company that says you have to join live now, otherwise and then you're locked in forever. That is not the goal. We want everyone to join Teachable, feel relieved that they joined Teachable, and be happy and continue to stay with Teachable for as long as they want. So you can try the pro plan to get access to the advanced features, you can see the group coaching. And then if after 30 days or before 30 days is over, you're like, actually, I don't think I need all these features. I just want the basic plan. The 5% transaction fee doesn't really matter to me. You can always downgrade and there's no stress. So, yeah, I would take the opportunity on the 30 days to see which one is the right fit for you. Ooh, Penny is an interesting question. What average age range of the Teachable platform users? I'm thinking about creating courses for grandparents. This is a tough one because it ranges. It ranges as much as when people say, what are the most popular courses or industries? I mean, I use this example every time, but there is the uh, over 3,000 students. In fact, I think it's way more than that now with Deborah Neiman. She's the thrifty homesteader. Her course is called Copper Deficiency in Goats. Over 3,000 people have signed up to learn about that. So there is no like specific age. I think as long as you have an audience of people that would be interested in that, there isn't like a set rule or a set age group that is the most impactful. Malika, is this platform good for nonprofits as well? For sure. Meredith, are there any special plans options for nonprofits? If you can email us at summit@teachable.com and we can send you information about that. Susan, can you use a combination of drip content? So yes, you can enable drip content for sure. And for people that are wondering what drip content is, it just means that you don't have all of the content released at the same time. You can drip it out once a week or you set the cadence. Sumana, is Teachable the right platform for technical courses? Goodness, I mean, we have a ton of technical courses from, coding, physics, engineering. There's absolutely, as long as the way that I would think about it is if you're sitting here and you're like, is my niche or my topic a right fit for Teachable? What you would just need to think through is one, can you deliver the content through video or text or PDFs, ebooks? Because that is the way that you can create your content with Teachable. If not, and you're like, actually, I need to teach people one-on-one, you can also do that because you can sell coaching or one-on-one sessions. Great. I'm glad that's helpful. So Angela, as far as like who is, I mean, if you have like people have tutoring courses for younger kids as well. Of course, the children aren't the ones that are buying the product, so it would be the parents that are purchasing it. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, Georgina, it is definitely April 11th. That was just a typo. That the replays will be available. Yep, Joyce, don't worry. Yep, April 11th. You got it. All right. So, any questions around the offer, the bonuses you get? Even if you're on the fence, like if you're sitting here, you've probably seen us talk about this bundle a lot. And I think by day 3, there's probably some questions that you have, whether it's, am I going to be able to do this? Or this is my business. I don't know if your platform is able to help me with what I want to achieve. And again, I'm not here to have everyone on this webinar join Teachable. That does not serve us. We need people that are going to be successful, people that are happy with the platform. So any question, feel free to add it in and I will answer it very directly. Okay, Jake is wondering, by delivering content via ebooks, PDFs, is there a way to ensure it simply does not get copied and distributed? So we're not technical. No, JK, that is a very good question. So here's what I would say. The internet is the internet. Big companies like Sony can't prevent people from, redistributing courses or their videos sometimes. But what I can say is that we do everything that we can to mitigate those risks. So the first thing is, this is whenever you are selling something, it is behind a paywall. So it is not open for anyone on the internet to see. With your videos, or if you have a PDF that you embed, you can decide if people can download the content or not. And also, if you find that, like, hang on a second, someone copied my course onto another that happens to be on Teachable and they're totally took my content, we fully support with the DMCA takedown. So we do everything in our power to support you with that, to mitigate those risks. But of course, I can't pretend like there isn't a risk because it is the internet. And if companies like Sony and all of the big companies haven't found a solution, um, that risk is always there, but we do everything we can to prevent it. Gina, how do one-on-one sessions work? The coaching sessions. Does it integrate with Calendly? Yes, it does. So we have a native integration with Calendly, and you can sell. So there's a couple things. One, you can sell the coaching as a one-off. So we have intake forms. So you can either have people fill out a form before they purchase, and this would allow you to pre-qualify people before you work with them. You can send them forms after they purchase to get, a questionnaire of what their pain points are, what they want to achieve, or you can fill in the questions for whatever suits your business. And with Calendly, yeah, you can integrate it. We work with Zapier, so you can integrate so many other tools in order to automate that process. And as far as the delivery of the coaching, there's so many different ways that people will do this. So you can either link to Zoom. Some people do it in person, face to face. So you can just send them the instructions or the address to meet them. It really is up to you. The other thing that you can do with coaching, which is honestly, I have never been more excited about. Well, actually, I probably say this for every feature set, but this one specifically is great, which is that you can include upsells within your course to purchase your one-on-one coaching. So if someone is going through your course, underneath it, you can be like, do you want to book a one-on-one session with me? Do you have further questions? Click here to do that. And their payments are saved with their account, which means that they don't have to go and find their credit card details to pay again. So one, it is easy for the student, but it also increases your conversion rates. Oh, Heather's saying, I'm trying to purchase, but it keeps telling me my password is invalid, even though I've reset it. Okay, so I'm sorry to hear that you're having issues. If you want to email us at summit@teachable.com, we will ensure that you do get all those bonuses because, of course, that for whatever reason, it's not going through. Ooh, Mel, fantastic question. How many products, landing pages, etc., can you host on this? Is there a max? No. Unlimited courses or products, unlimited students or customers. And I mean, we have some people that have hundreds of courses. There is no limit. And yeah. Georgina, that's my question also. Jess, I'm working on my business launch, but I'm not sure if a course this platform would be a useful addition to my business or not. Is it possible to talk through this collaboration with someone from Teachable? Oh, so I'm just trying to let me scroll back to get more context on. So as far as a collaboration, I mean, if you can email us at summit@teachable.com, or I don't know if I'm going to regret doing this depending on how many people are watching this live. Feel free to send me a DM on Instagram and I can help brainstorm and chat you through it, just because I know we have a lot of emails going in right now to Summit about the bundle and everything. So yeah, feel free to send me a DM and I can help you with that. But yes, we'll see. We'll see how my inbox goes. But I will look out for your message. All right, I think we answered all of our questions. I will save it for one or two more questions. Again, any blockers you have, any hesitations, any things that you're like, I bet you she can't answer this, type it into the chat because we want everyone to make the best decision for them. I want you to join this bundle. I want you to be excited about the courses you're getting, the discounts, the group coaching. I want all of this to be exciting, but I also want you to feel 2,000% sure. And so if there's any hesitation, again, I will let you know directly if this is going to be a great fit for you or not. Okay, Gina. Okay, I've purchased several courses and face issues with login, signing up, pain. And I've heard people have issues, okay, with the login. So I know this was like an older issue that we have addressed. But what I would say, if you email us at summit@teachable.com, if there are specific concerns that you have, or if you have examples of things that maybe because sometimes too, like people will use a separate like sales page or a separate checkout and integrate, and there might be some issues there. So to ensure that we answer your question in the most direct way, if you email us at summit@teachable.com, we can look into what you're seeing or what you might be experiencing. But yeah, that was a known issue that we've addressed. If I think I'm thinking of the right one that you're talking about. I'd love one platform I could use for it. I love the concept of Teachable. Yeah. So as far as like it being an all-in-one platform, so the thing that makes Teachable stand out from other platforms is definitely the payment processing. So from the save payments to, I mean, we've optimized our checkout cart. I think it was we increased, I don't want to make up numbers. Someone in the chat can correct me if this is the wrong number, but the updates we made to our checkout page increased conversions by 7%. I think it was something bananas like that. Let me here. I'm going to Google this. I'm going to fact check myself to ensure I'm giving you the uh, right number. I don't want to make up numbers that are not accurate. I'll let someone, if someone in the chat can type that in, just because I don't think you guys want to see me. Oh, wait, here we are. Yes. With the work, I'm reading from the blog here. With the work that our team has implemented in July of last year, we've seen an overall 7% increase in conversion rate on our student check. 7%. That's crazy. All right, I'll post the article too. You guys can see that I was not making up those numbers. Giselle, new to Teachable, how customizable is the platform in regards to branding? So you have quite a few options. So you can use Google Fonts. You can customize the fonts you use, the colors, the color scheme. You can have your own custom domain, so people don't need to know that it is a Teachable school. It could be gisellescourse.com. You also have on the pro plan, you have full customizations with code. So there are some, if you know how to use code or if you have a developer, you can really customize it to look however you want. I mean, I've seen people recreate their school experience where it almost looks like a video game. So there's a lot of flexibility. And I think that is an important point because with Teachable, we can grow with your business. The default settings are great if you're a beginner. You don't want to use code. You don't want to work with an outside team or developer. But as you grow and you're like, all right, I'm getting bigger now. I'm getting a lot of people signing up. I want a very specific look for my course. You can hire a developer and you can have that flexibility all within the platform. So you don't feel like there's like a cap with what you can do. Nicole, great question. Probably a crazy question. It is not. But can this email strategy and sequence work for selling services instead of courses? Oh, I think that is a great question for Kendrick as far as what she shared, but I'm 99% sure that this is applicable for products, services, courses, fill in the blank. So I'd say yes. All right, I'm going to do one more question just because I need to get ready for our next session, which is happening in an hour and a half with Melissa Peng. I believe that is our 2 p.m. session. And it is with Tiffany Tolliver, the Spark Method, creating an irresistible personal brand in 2021 that is happening in an hour and a half. Okay, so Ladora's wondering, you may have answered this already. If I have a basic plan already, when I upgrade, will I get the bundles offered today? Yes, if you're in the basic plan and you upgrade to Pro, 100%, you will get all that as well as the discount. Okay, so Mel, just to clarify, $90 a month price is only good for 12 months, then it reverts back to the current price? Yes. So you lock in the price, the discounted price for a year, but you don't have to stay with us for a year. If after 6 months you don't want to, you can cancel. It's just that you have reserved that discount price for that long. All right, my friends, I think we have covered as much as we could. It is incredible to see so many people staying live just to talk about Teachable, but I hope this has been helpful. If there's any questions that we missed, please email us at summit@teachable.com. And yeah, I'm going to get ready for the next session, but I hope to see you guys there. Mark your calendars, 2 p.m. Eastern, and I will see you soon.